"Are you Payton Hogan?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me." It was like, "Okay, you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and do will be used against you in the court of law." What's good, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the CYR Podcast. Scratch that. This is not another edition. This is actually like a special edition because this is not the normal episode. I don't have a guest here. This is just me, Payton Hogan, yours truly, the host, the creator of the CYR Podcast. And I wanted to have this episode today to give you guys a little bit of background into who I am as a person, why I even got this podcast, how I even came up with CYR. I mean, I talk about it a little bit in some of the episodes, but like, I really want to give y'all the backstory. Everybody been telling me, "We've been waiting for your story, Payton. We waiting for your story." So I'm here today to give y'all my story as to how we even got here, how we even made it here, and where the trajectory of this podcast is going and what I hope to accomplish with this podcast. So, like I said, my name again is Payton Hogan. I am a licensed mental health therapist. I've been a mental health therapist for, I think, going on 6 years, since 2019. 2019, I was graduated from the University of Nebraska, Omaha, with my master's in clinical mental health counseling. And since then, I hit the ground running. But to really understand the inception of CYR, to understand how we even got to this point, I got to take y'all back. I got to take y'all way back. We're going to go back to me being 18 years old. When I was 18 years old, I was in college. I was playing college football at a little D2 college out here in Nebraska. It's called Wayne State. Shout out my Wildcats. I was out there on a college scholarship, playing football, doing my thing, living life. Everything was smooth, I thought. But I wasn't just out there playing football. I wasn't. I can't even hold y'all. I was out there selling drugs. I had been selling drugs since I was like 12, 13 years old. And I thought, since I was out in this small town, I could be making good money and doing big business, or so I thought at the time. And so I'm out there, I'm doing my thing all throughout the year. I'm feeling like the man when I walk through, like Rich Homie. But that all came to a suspected or an unsuspected, I don't know how you say it, an unsuspected halt. This was right before spring ball. I still remember it. During spring ball. We were in spring ball and we're leading up to the spring game. And as we was getting close, we got hit by this big old blizzard. And so there was a couple of practices that got canceled. And instead of practicing, our coach had us go out to our field because our field outdoors, we didn't have money like that. It's D2, but they got an indoor facility now, which is dope. But they had us out there with shovels, breaking up the snow and ice off the field. That was our practice. And I remember this day in particular, like something in my gut just felt off. I didn't know what it was, but it just felt off. And like I said, I had been selling drugs. Like, I had people selling drugs for me, running, doing all this stuff. Like, I drive back to Omaha every 2-3 days, pick up a little QP. And for those of y'all that don't know, QP is a quarter pound. I thought I was doing big stuff. It really ain't that big. But for me, making like $1,500 to $2,000 every few days and coming back and re-upping, like, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I could do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was something for me. But anyways, I digress. On this day in particular, something felt off. I didn't know what it was. And I remember after we got done scooping snow off of the field, like, I went back to my dorm and I'm just sitting in there, and I remember I was telling my roommate, I was like, man, something don't feel right. Shout out Tony Bubble, that was my guy, that was my roommate. I was just like, something don't feel right. And he's like, what you mean? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just something don't feel right. And sure enough, there was a knock on the door. All I heard was, we wasn't expecting nobody, but I mean, you in college, you in the dorms, like people come up to your dorm all the time. But this time when I looked through the peephole, it wasn't just anybody, it was our dorm's AD. I don't know what AD stand for, but that's the top dude in the dorm pretty much. It's only AD I know is Anthony Davis. But that wasn't him. You know, it was our dorm's AD. He was the head dude that was over all of like the RAs, the resident. I don't even know what the RA stand for, but they the people on the floors that pretty much watch over the dorms. So he knocks, he's like, hey Payton, campus security want to talk to you. And I'm like, do you know what it's about? He's like, nah, they didn't say, but you need to go down there and you need to talk to him. And so like instantly my spidey senses was going off. I'm like, I already don't feel right about this day. And now I got to go talk to campus security. Something is up. And so as I'm heading down there, I'm like just thinking in my mind, I'm like, man, like something's up. And so I had all of my drugs and my paraphernalia in my room, and I'm seeing one of my homies come through the dorm as I'm leaving. His name is Zach Osborne. He's our quarterback. And I see him and he'll attest to this. And I'm like, hey Zach, man, I don't know what's going on, but I need you to go to my room. I need you to grab everything out of my room and take it to your room, bro. Just for now, just do that for me. Don't ask no questions. Just do it. And I did it so non-discreetly, like it just looked like we were just talking to each other. He was walking one way, I was walking the other, just like, and I said it to him. And so Zach, if you see this, I need you to jump down in them comments and let them know that I'm not lying about this. And he went up there and he did it for me like a real one. But I pass him and I'm walking to campus security and I get in there. And when I get in there, I was like, hey, my dorm's AD told me that I needed to come down here. They were like, are you Payton Hogan? I was like, yeah, that's me. It was like, okay, you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and do will be used against you in the court of law. And so on and so on and so on and so on. And I remember at that moment, my stomach dropped. 18-year-old college football player on a scholarship, got this newfound independence that I'm growing into. And in the matter of seconds, coming to the realization that it's all being stripped away from me. I was stuck. I was like, damn, my life is over. All of this was for nothing. And I still remember that. Like, have y'all ever been in a situation where it just seems like nothing can get worse than this? Like, there's no lower that I can get now. In that moment when they said that to me, that's where I was at. Like, there was nothing that could be worse than this. Nothing worse than having the life as you know it just stripped from you. And so they put me in the handcuffs. They threw me in the back of the squad car, and they took me up to the county jail. And just thinking that over and over again, my life is over, my life is over, my life is over. Damn, my life is over. No more football, no more school. Got to start preparing for how I'm gonna do this time. At least I thought we were headed to the county jail. I thought, and they took me to a holding cell first, and they had me in a holding cell at the Wayne Police Department, probably for like 4 or 5 hours, trying to do interrogation and all this stuff, trying to get me to say all type. And I'm just like, man, I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, this is the only thing that can save your life. And, you know, at the time I'm believing them. I'm like, man, this probably is the only thing that could save my life, but that's just not how I was brought up. And so then they threw me back in the back of the cop car and they took me up to the county after they found out that like I just wasn't saying nothing. And so I get up to the county and I'm in there I'm in there for a little bit of time, about a week or so, not too long. It wasn't nothing too serious. And I got bonded out by my mom because I was broke. I was making all this money, but I was broke because I was blowing it. I was spending on stupid stuff, spending it on alcohol, spending it on clothes, spending it on just dumb stuff, just stupid stuff. So my mom bonded me out, I remember, and she was just so disappointed in me. She was like, "You just throwing your life away just for nothing. You looking for every way to like figure out how to get into prison. Looking for every way." And I was, unconsciously. All of my actions were lining up to get me there. Not all of them. A lot of them were lining up to get me there. And I remember just feeling like this sense of disappointment in myself for letting my mom down. Mind you, the charges that they charged me with was distribution of a dangerous substance, which was it was either a class 1 or class 2 felony. Class 1 or class 2, and so I was looking at 10 to 15 years they was trying to hit me with. They was trying to make it seem like I was like this big kingpin, you know what I'm saying? And like, I felt like I was a big kingpin, but like in the grand scheme of things, like I knew people that were, like I had a plug, you know what I'm saying? I was the miniature plug. Like I wasn't no big plug. Like I wasn't carrying no trash bags around. Like, and they was trying to make it out like I was doing that, but that's neither here nor there. Like my actions ultimately led me to this position where I'm facing 10 to 15 years in prison. And so didn't have any money for an attorney. And so I had to go with the public defender. Her name is Kay Jorgensen, by the way. Shout out Kay Jorgensen. She saved my life. And most public defenders don't save your life. Like they just do the bare minimum. But Kay saved my life, like legitimately. And so I remember I had to meet with her to go over the discovery and all the evidence and all that stuff. Cause like in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna take this to trial and I'm gonna fight it. And if I lose, then I just lose. It is what it is. But like, that's just what I thought. Stupid. But it's just what I thought. And so we're going over the evidence. She's talking about it. And it come to find out, one of the dudes that I thought I was cool with, he ended up wearing a wire on me. And it was on multiple occasions he wore a wire of me doing transactions with him. Like I said, I had multiple people like that I sold to and that were running for me and stuff. And so like I thought this was one of the dudes that was cool, but like apparently not. Had text messages, had recordings, had all type of stuff. And come to find out, this dude in particular, it wasn't just me that he did this to. Like he wore a wire on multiple people in the town because he had gotten it's so stupid. He had gotten a weed ticket, which was just an infraction. But the cops told him when he got that ticket that you'll never be able to be a pharmacist with this on your record. And the only way that you'll be able to get this off your record is if you work with us and you help us take down other people in the town. And so that's what this dude did. He went around the town trying to take the people down so that he could become a pharmacist. And you know what? Shout out him, because without him, and I ain't gonna say his name because his name don't deserve, it doesn't necessarily deserve any recognition. But on another note, shout out him, because without him, like I probably wouldn't be in this position. Like if he didn't do what he did, like I'm appreciative of him. Truthfully, not even sarcastically, I'm appreciative of him, because like who knows like what I would have been on had I got caught up when I did. But essentially, like I was fucked, y'all. Like there was no fighting it. Like the evidence stacked against me. And so she went to work and she started thinking, and she was trying to figure out all these different ways. She was like, I don't think you should go to trial. Let me try to figure out some stuff. I'm like, no. Like, even though I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna blah, 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 blah. And I remember I told my mom that. My mom's like, you're so stupid. What are you doing, Payton? You're stupid. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But like, I just had this mindset, stupid mindset. Like I already threw my life away, so I got to deal with it. Which on a certain level, like I truly do believe like you got to lay in the bed that you make, because I made that bed. And so I had to lay in it. But we keep going, and I get a phone call from Kate, and she's like, Payton, I might have something for you, but you got to go get an evaluation done to see if you qualify. It's this thing called drug court. And if you qualify for drug court, you can avoid going to prison. You can avoid having these felony charges on your record. You don't have to cooperate with law enforcement. Yada yada yada. I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. And so I go get this evaluation done. Come to find out, I am diagnosed with major depressive disorder, and I also have an alcohol and substance use disorder. And so this allowed me to qualify for this program called drug court. And drug court pretty much is just, it's pretty much rehab, like intensive rehab. It lasted about 2 years. What it consisted of was me drug testing 45 times a week at random. I had to go stand in front of the judge for about 2 hours each week. I had to complete intensive outpatient treatment, which was 9 hours each week, 3 hours for 3 days. And then I had to go to therapy once a week. I had to go to 3 AA meetings a week, and 3 AA or NA meetings a week. I had to complete a class called MRT, which was 13 weeks, relapse prevention, 26 weeks, aftercare, another class, another 26 weeks. I had to do like all of these different things as a part of this program. And if I complete it and do it with minimal error, then they would expunge my record, seal it, and it'd be like none of this ever happened. But this started like, I thought when they read my Miranda rights to me that was like the lowest I could get. No, being on drug court was probably the lowest that I ever got. I was so depressed. I was having to live with myself every single day. I was having to live with the trauma that I grew up with. I was having to live with the trauma that I was experiencing. And mind you, like I was in Wayne, Nebraska, which is a small town, probably got like 5,000 to 7,000 people. But I was there with my football teammates. And there was some black people out there too, like we was playing football and stuff. And so I had that. But then for this drug court, like I had to move to another small town where I knew absolutely nobody. And felt like one of 4 black people there. And the other 4 black people I really didn't know, because like, why do I know y'all? And I couldn't smoke. I couldn't drink. I couldn't leave the town. I couldn't do anything. Like I was depressed at an all-time low. Like this was the low. This was the first time in however many years that like I really had to face my own shit. And it was hard. It was hard. I had a room in this house out in Norfolk, Nebraska. And every day when I was in there, like I created this routine for myself because I had to wake up at a certain time. I had to wake up it was like at 5 o'clock. It was between 5 and 5:30. I had to wake up to call to see if my color was called to go piss and what time I needed to go piss for this drug test. And so, and like I wasn't in school at Wayne anymore. I enrolled in the community college, Northeast Community College out there. And I did that. So I wanted to create a schedule for myself because like that's the only way I knew to succeed. And so I would wake up every day. And when I wake up, I would do the same thing every day. I would wake up, I had water bottles. I would drink a whole water bottle, smash it up, pick up all the little trash that I saw on my floor. I would make my bed the exact same way every day. I would wipe down my surfaces in my room, my dresser, wipe down my TV. I had these little wet wipes, wipe it all down, wipe down my doorknobs, all that stuff. I'm not OCD, but like, I really just wanted to take control of the things that I could take control of, because there was a lot in my life at this time that I did not have control over, and it was driving me crazy. So I needed to be able to have control over something. They were telling me when I had to piss. They were telling me when I could go, when I couldn't. They were telling me where I had to be. And so like me doing this routine with my room every day and making sure my room was clean, like was me exercising that control. And lo and behold, like I didn't realize it at that time, but lo and behold, through doing that, like I literally made it through this program with flying colors. I think I had one mess up, and the one mess up was me missing a drug test, because I eventually got put back onto my football team, and I was able to move back to Wayne. And I was supposed to drug test after practice one day, and I got caught up in the locker room just talking with the homies and like messing around. And the drug tech had left. And she called me and she let me know. She was like, "Payton, you missed your drug test." Left. I was like, "Oh, let me come up to Norfolk." She's like, No, you just gotta miss this one, man." And so like that's the only one that I missed. But outside of that, like it started with me developing this routine with my room that really helped me to see that I have control over myself. And as I was thinking of like a name for this podcast, we're gonna fast forward back into the present time. As I was thinking for a name for this podcast, like a few years back, like I did a little podcast, and if y'all go through the rest of my channel, my YouTube channel, you'll see some videos on here where I'm like, "Good morning and thanks for tuning into another episode of Therapy with Barry B." Like I dropped that moniker because I'm like, dog, my name ain't Barry B, and like I ain't trying to be Barry B no more. I'm gonna just be me, Payton Hogan. I was tired of people being like, "Hey, you're Barry B, you're Barry B." Like, nah, bro, I'm Payton. You gotta call me Barry B. But like since I stopped that, and I've been thinking of another name for my podcast. I'm like, what is something in my life that had like significant impact on me? And it's the aspect behind cleaning my room. Like I was at a moment in a place in my life where I was low and I had no control, and I wanted things to change. I wanted to be able to have control. I wanted to be able to like change my circumstance and my situation, but I didn't know how. And I thought back to that time where I'm in Norfolk, Nebraska, and all I have to my name is a room in this house that I was renting. And the one thing that I did and focused on every day, for sure, was waking up and cleaning my room. And not just doing a basic cleanup like when your parents tell you to pick up your room, but like really paying attention to the detail, really wiping down the stuff, wiping down the surfaces, wiping off my doorknobs, picking up the stuff, organizing my room in a specific way. And it was through that I started to realize that I do have control and that I can change things. Me being able to get back on my football team and me being able to move back into my college town was unheard of with the drug court program. And they let me know that when they allowed me to 6 months later, after I passed all my classes at my community college, after I didn't miss a drug test, after I graduated from my IOP program, after I continuously did everything that they asked me to do with flying colors. The one thing that stuck was me cleaning my room. That's what helped to ignite and spark the change in my life. It helped to turn on the gears of the manifestation process for myself. And I saw it and I did it firsthand. So that's why I've named this podcast the CYR, or the Clean Your Room Podcast, because I know there's so many people out there who want to have change in their life. There's so many people out there who want to experience growth. There's so many people out there who are at a low, an all-time low. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to experience something different, don't start with the big thing. Just clean your room, because I guarantee you there's something in there that you can control. And I know for a lot of people, it's hard to really get in there and clean your room. Some people haven't cleaned their room in years. They haven't wiped up the dust off of their dresser. They ain't wiped that dust off the back of their TV. They ain't moved their dresser out the little nightstand and picked up the trash that's back there. They ain't looked under their bed and got the shit from under there. Those are the little hard things. Those are the things that correlate to life, right? The change in your diet, the getting in the gym on a regular basis, The formulating a new habit or a nighttime routine where it's like, I wanna go to the gym, or I wanna meditate, I wanna say my affirmation, all right, yeah, I get it. I get you wanna do all that, and all that stuff is good. And I'm not here to say that it's not. But how are you gonna do that when you can't even clean your room? And so I encourage everybody, start with that. And my hope with this podcast is to bring people on here who embody that very principle of cleaning their room, who embody focusing on the small detail and looking at the little things that have helped them to transform and change their life. Not saying that they avoided the mess altogether, because we all gotta have mess. All of our rooms have to be dirty at some point in time or another. They have to. If they're not, then I guess you're part of the 2.5% that don't have to experience that. But then if you don't experience that, who are you really gonna impact? Because most of us are dealing with piles and piles of shit that we need to clean. So, now I'm here, fully licensed therapist, running my podcast, running a business, hoping to inspire people out there to show y'all that it's possible. It's possible to change your reality, CYR. It's possible to create your resilience, CYR. And it all starts with cleaning your room. Motherfucking CYR. So y'all, that is where the origin story of my podcast came from. I hope hearing that makes you want to stick around and makes you want to see who we're going to have on the show, what we're going to talk about, and how they can inspire you or motivate you or encourage you to start cleaning your room, or even just give you some tips on how to clean your room. I think so far, we've had some dope individuals come on the pod and really talk about just tremendous change and tremendous impact in their own lives and in the lives around them. From a social media marketer and Brandon King to Pastor Josh to Johnny No Good to LP, Light Poe. Come on, y'all. Come on. And there's many more to come. Many more to come. So stick around. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you interact. Let me know, if there are things that you want me to talk about. Again, like I said, I'm a mental health professional, and I've been going back and forth with whether or not I want to get back to posting just straight up, just mental health tips and stuff like that, or mindset tips. I've been going back and forth with it. So, if there are things that you want to know more about or you want to hear about, because dog, I got some knowledge in here. I'm telling you, I got some knowledge in here. But if there's specific things, let me know in the comments. I'm not just gonna blow your comment off. Pause. I'm not just going to ignore your comment. I will see it and I will get back to it. And if there's enough people who wanna hear about things, I'll definitely talk about it. I want to be able to this is me being able to give back, free of charge. Not charging for this content, not telling y'all gotta pay me for this content, but I really want to inspire and motivate people to level up, to be able to create, to be able to be the version of themselves that they want to be. So y'all, that's all I got. I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. Y'all got my origin story now of how the CYR Podcast got formed. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the drops. Right now, we're dropping 2 to 3 videos a week. You know what I'm saying? I really got my foot on the gas. But pretty soon, I don't know how soon. Actually, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see if y'all really rocking with it. I'm going to keep with the 2 to 3, but yeah, we'll just see. So I ain't going to say too much more, y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.